some special plants you want to grow quicker. Actually, this is the last cultural tip. So optimal growing for, this is for Slovakia. You can do this for any frag, but the ebb and flow benches work really nice. Those are benches where the base has a reservoir and a timer and a pump that, and I use now I want to use those O2 grow emitters instead of the air bubbles, air stones. But the system is like this. Water stored below, there's a timer, pumps it up, floods it or flows it from one end to the other for an hour a day. And that really increases the speed of the growth of these frags. And it's the only way I could get Slovakia to flower consistently. Any other technique, and I was getting a lot of aborted spikes. You can make your own small version using, one of my employees made it actually, a gutter. Basically a gutter capped off at each end, and then you had a 5-gallon bucket under it with a cheap pump and a timer. And you just ran that an hour a day. Same results. And then you can do 2 to 4 inch pots. This is for troubleshooting. If you have leaf tip dieback, that's usually crown rot or winia rot. I'm sorry, leaf tip dieback is caused by old potting media, fungus, or bacteria in most cases, and crown and erwinia, acidic old potting media as well, or plants drying out too much in between watering, so they get really dry, really wet, really dry. I notice you get rot that way. It's better to be consistently wet. And then there's repot rot. Right when you repot, sometimes orchids go downhill, and some people wonder why. That's basically from people who don't clean up the root system. If you leave old rotting roots and you pot it, there's a reason that doesn't work. It's here, I'll tell you. Used pots, if they're not cleaned properly, the same reason, there's bacteria. Even the label you repot, you should wipe it clean. That could have gunk on it. So why does this repot rot happen? So bacteria that's been feeding on old potting material and dead roots cannot break down new media. So plant tissue is softer and becomes the next source of what they want to feed on. That's why you get repot rot. So that's why you have to be very diligent and clean when you repot plants. Clean them up well, rinse the roots off well, cut off any dead, hollow, mission roots. Just keep the firm, hard ones. Those are the good ones. Because otherwise you'll get something like this. And this just goes over the Slovakia technique for those who want to try these. It's a complicated plant, but low light on the seedlings, 300 to 500 foot candles, always pure water. That goes for all frags. I used to use diatomaceous earth. Can't get it anymore. So now I use those grow cubes. Ebb and flow bench is the best for flowering the Slovakia. Some people ask me this question, what's your parts per million in fertilizer? So it's 500 to 700 range. And I try to refresh the reservoir of water below them every couple of weeks. It stays pretty clean with the air stones or the emitters. And that would be the best way to overall grow and flower the pure species. Because this is the stage here where I was getting the stem rot, but as soon as I stood them in water, or put them in the ebb and flow, they shot out within a couple of weeks. A lot of these plants have been sitting there for weeks on end doing nothing. Put them in the moving water, and within a couple of weeks they just shot right out, and then I realized that's the secret. And this is the small version I was talking about, where you have a little gutter here, and you've got the bucket growing underneath, or bucket underneath it with the 5-gallon reservoir.
How high does the water get in that?
So it depends on where you put it. I just drilled the holes 2 inches up. So I don't want to flood them all too deep. A couple inches is plenty. The whole pot's going to wake up the water anyways.
2 inches on the gutter and 2 inches on the bigger?
On each side. Those huge units flood about, I would say, a little over halfway. They're a little deeper, but I put bigger pots in those as well. Now the absolute easiest way to grow frags is like this. You move to Hawaii. One of my friends in Maui sent me this picture. He said, oh, I just throw them in volcanic ash in my yard and I put a sprinkler system on them. They did fantastic. So now I actually seriously want to think about renting space there and growing orchids there. Moving there someday myself. Frags grow that good there. Why not? So this is kind of a fun collage of Slovakia to show you that even though the first generation seedlings have come up are already very nice, because a lot of the wild ones originally looked like this. They're really deformed and reflexed. But just one generation and stuff as nice as this are coming out. So it's just a fun thing to have in the world of lady slippers, and it's making a big difference in hybridizing. And now the next thing is to see what a tetraploid one of these looks like. I think that would be very impressive. But you know what? This plant, even though it's been shown and has quite a few awards given to it now, it doesn't have anywhere near the amount of FCCs as Jason Fischer. That wraps up the lecture. Thank you very much for having me. This is our website, by the way. I write a blog every month, so on the bottom of if you scroll down the bottom, you see stuff. I write articles about growing different types of orchids or about the corpse flower that just flowered. Yes?
Real quick question. Fertilizer, foliage fertilizer.
Yeah.
You mentioned concentrated fertilization for foliar feed.
Right.
And see, I've heard other things, they say, no, you cut your fertilizer in half for foliar feed, like on bonsai trees. And I've heard two things.
Yeah.
The stomata, don't they open, the higher the heat goes during the day, do the stomata open up or do they close in the heat?
Well, I've been told optimal is at 75 degrees or lower.
Right. That's what I
I think
saw.
that's when they're the most apt to accept.
So they close up, the higher the heat, they close up?
I mean, I don't think they completely close. I think there's different sizes.
But 7 times the concentration of fertilizer, you don't feel
That's what we've been, we've been at about 6 at our nursery.
will not burn the leaves?
Haven't had any issues.
Okay,
Yeah, we just
thank you.
douse everything.
That's no problem,
Yeah. Any other questions? You know, Teresa Hill of Hillsview Gardens in Portland, she does all foliar feeding. That's kind of where I got the idea from. She said the same thing, helps her root system last, or potting medium last longer. She does Novoniopsis, Masdevallia, Phragmipedium mainly, and her plants always look great.
Where is that?
That's in Oregon.
Where's your name?
Teresa Hill, Hillsview Gardens is the name of her nursery. But yeah, she's the one who kind of inspired us to try that technique. Any other questions? Yes.
Jason, do you grow your paths with the same culture as the frags, or do you?
Paths are more similar to the caudatum frags. Most of our paths are medium bark mix that drains well. But paths, some varieties that love water, like the Cochlopetalum, the repeat blooming varieties. I grow those like frags. I grow those in rock wool or a peat moss mix, and because they're always thirsty, and they seem to hydrate and grow faster than when I grow them in the park. So it kind of depends on the variety of path. There's certainly some that take more or less water in that group as well.
Do you, in general, do you treat your mottle leaf paths differently than the green leaf paths?
Yeah, mottle leaves paths for us get the lowest light. They're like frags kind of. And then the solid leaf paths, especially the polyanthia, like the Rothschildianum, Sandrianum, those we put in higher light areas. And warmer areas as well. They do better for us that way.
Which one's warmer?
The multiflorals. So I'll have seedlings of multiflorals, and someone else will have them in Florida. They'll always bloom them before the heat and the light that they provide is faster than what I can. Because we have a winter, so we don't heat the greenhouses to the max because that would be very expensive on the heating bill. So we do have to regulate that as well. So we kind of lose out a few months every year in maximum growth speed for those kind of things. Yeah. Any other questions? All right, if not, I